Proper Context Media, we back. We can get to the root. It's not indicated to the branches. Jimz, before I get to you, my black and brown people, my black brothers and sisters of the battle rap community. Once again, we have an intruder. Once again, we have an invader. Once again, we have a trespasser, an infringer, and a violator in the culture that we allowed them into. We became the victim of our own willingness to open our arms, open our doors for people of the other culture. And the other cultures continuously tell us, continuously show us that they want no good for us and only here to take from what we have already built. Jimz, I seen your disingenuous apology. For one, you can't apologize for something you knew better than to do in the first place. Because first, after all of the things that you said it was a joke at first. You said that racist jokes have been funny since the beginning of the time. Well, I don't know. Because for us, it's much more than a joke. All of those jokes are coupled with truth or come from truth. Because racism isn't a joke. It isn't a joke for us, it's reality for us. Every single day, we go outside and face with oppression, subjugation, and disenfranchisement. We don't go outside and have to face comedy as a black person in America. We don't go outside and have to face jokes because that's all we had to face. Then everything would be way better than our lives. But we have to go out there and face real life stuff that you're joking about. You put pictures up of black babies, liking them to dogs. You put a picture of a dog up next to the baby. When you, sir, because I heard you're European, you're white, Greek, you're European. You, sir, you and your people are the known dogs of the world. You and your people have sent your vicious four-legged dogs on my people, and they were sent by your two-legged dogs. During the civil rights movement, you seen women's breasts bitten off, men genitals bit, female, women, children bitten by these dogs. We couldn't do nothing about the dogs. Even now to this day, you have your two-legged dogs sniffing all around our yards, all on our porch. Your four-legged dogs all in our community with the two-legged dog, your canine dogs. And your two-legged dogs are the worst one because we can't do anything to avoid them. If we walk across the street, we can't go on the side of the street with them because if they attack us, we can't defend ourselves. If they come across the street and attack us, it's hard to defend ourselves. Because if we go and want to kill that dog, then you start to call your FBI dogs, your DEA dogs, your other local police and sheriff dogs, county dogs, state trooper dogs, and whatever other dogs that you can find. Knowing that we can't contend with these dogs, and then you're liking us to dogs when you're the dog. And we know that it's a dog-eat-dog world, but you got to be a dog to get a plate. Y'all been eating for a long time. There's no way that you can liken us to dogs. We don't do dog behavior. You do. Scavengers, pillagers, invaders, conquerors are you people. You and your people. You go on Twitter and try to influence public opinion about black people because you mad that black man got your girl and she ain't even want you no more. I understand. Salute to her. Salute to her for making the right decision. You get mad and disrespect a whole race, children and women involved. You say over a girl because first it was a joke. Then it was because of your auntie's mental illness. You had to watch her take pills. Like black people haven't watched had to watch their parents, aunties, uncles, and everybody else shoot up or smoke crack because of the drugs that y'all people put in our community. And you want me to feel remorse for you and your people for having depression? I got white privilege. What depression do you got? Anyway, as far as him taking your girl and you being mad. So in essence, you're mad at this black man and all black people because who he chose to be with. And then you apologize for saying it, but the apologize is disingenuous because just a few months ago you attacked a whole group of people for what the same thing for who they chose to be with. You just attacked the LGBT people, right? You just attacked them. In essence, you're attacking people for who they choose to be with. You're attacking a whole group of people. I mean, cannot allow you to condemn black women and kids when your people have the most right for condemnation. Whenever there is a conversation of condemnation, it's about y'all. Hate speech that you spewing in the battle rap community towards the fat people, LBGT, and now to come to find out that it's against, you have disdain towards the black community because of a black man who took your girl. And you try to put it under the guise of playing because racism ain't a joke. It's a projection is what it is. And the tongue speaks what's in the heart because speech is the action of the heart. You sit in here, you come in our culture, benefit off of our culture. You sit up there with ARP, you shook smack hand, you're going around, you're shaking hands with battle rappers, you sit up there with ARP, knowing how you feel about his daughter or about his wife or about his mother. Knowing how you felt about his nephews, his nieces, and everybody else associated with his black people. But you sat up there and you sat up there with him like he was his friend in order to benefit off the culture. Then you have this disingenuous apology. You monetize the apology. So in essence, you're benefiting off of the negative comments that you've made. Then you go up there with the self-loathing and self-pity and try to condemn yourself. Self-condemnation has no benefit to the people who you rights you transgress against. And there's no need for you to go to do all of these bad things to go in there and tell us that you're a bad person. Your deeds reflected that. Your deeds reflected it. We don't need you to do bad and tell us you continuously do bad and then tell us you're a bad person. We see it. And you continue to benefit off our culture. This is the essence and embodiment of white supremacy. Dr. Francis Percy Wilson said, the enemy to the white man, to the European, is the black man and the black man's genitalia because they've set up policies, procedures, and stuff to keep the black man away from. How many black men have died over white women without even touching them? Because you feel the same way that they feel. He whistled at a killing. The Tulsa race riots was caused by someone bumping a woman's shoulder on the elevator. And they went and bombed our town. Dr. Francis Wilson, who was one of the greatest minds that we had in the conscious black community, rest in peace to the sister. She said, "What are your biggest threats?" She said, "That's why you allow the women to thrive in them predominantly white institutions, climb certain corporate ladders, but black men are held back because you waged a war against black men, and you just waged a social media war against a black community because you say because it's because a black man got with your girlfriend. But I say that this is how you feel, and you continue to feel like that, and I can tell that you still feel like that. You have no sympathy or no pity for the group of people that you violate because you just violated some. You're in the gym with the shirt on or whatever, saying straight people walking around like you are a spokesperson for the heterosexual community, and you ain't a spokesperson for us. You ain't the spokesperson. That's the dichotomy for us is not gay or straight. The black community dichotomy is freedom or death. You are the embodiment of systematic white supremacy. Because you willing to transgress upon a group of people's rights while benefiting and reaping the benefits of the culture and the people in which you already transgressed. You continue to reap the benefits. You reap the benefits of the people who you transgressed upon and continue to benefit. You have this disdain, and these probably the things that you probably got emotional, it's emotional that time, and went and started to use words that you usually don't use outside of the comfort of your own home. And I feel like that about all white people. I feel all white people are racist. And black people, we continue to let these people in our culture. Now y'all mad about this, but just the other day you were saying that, oh, we don't want to hear nothing about racism in battle rap. We don't want to hear nothing about slavery. We don't hear nothing about this or nothing about that. You think that this is going to be a multicultural society? This is going to be a multicultural culture? Multiculturalism is a joke. For one, Europeans don't share power or money with nobody else. Europeans only, listen, the European traits are criticize, condemn, compete. If that don't work, then you continue. You come to a point of contentious. And then after the contention, they consume. But they never collaborate. You understand? It is nowhere on the face of the earth that the white man has went and it's been peace. There's been nothing but death and destruction since he's touched every single corner. 196,940,000 square miles of earth, and you can't find one place where he's brought peace. Not one. And you continue to let him in your community, in our culture. And I heard he made the Spanish. The Spanish is the same. Spanish people the same. No culture has came over here and said, we gonna be with the black people. If you ask any Spanish person, you ask any Puerto Rican, they're gonna say they Puerto Rican, they're gonna say they black. But black people say they black. They can say the N-word, they black. You ask them if they black, they say they Puerto Rican. The word Hispanic in the United States came from the government when they pleaded to the government to be classified as whites or anything other than black, because they didn't want the treatment of the blacks. They didn't want to be associated with us. Same as the Asians, the Arabs, and they gave them the name Hispanics. That's when you see on your job applications and stuff like that, it says there's a box that says Hispanic, because they tried to be under the guise of being white. We got to watch who we bring in our community. We can't continue. Your arms aren't tired for continuously holding them open for people who don't appreciate them being held open. They don't even reciprocate the energy that you do. He's on there lying. Body language says he's lying. Inflection of the tone says he's lying. Everything about it says he's lying. He's colonizing attitude. If you are Spanish, the Spanish is just as racist. Every other group is racist against black people. It's not one group that came and says that we want to help the black community. Minority movement came about as an undercut to the civil rights movement. Puerto Ricans don't want to be classified as black. Asians don't want to be classified as black. No other group does. Why? They don't want to be susceptible to the treatments of black. They want to be anything other than black, but they want to benefit off of the black culture and benefit off of our black communities to the point where we aren't even allowed to benefit from them anymore. It is no access to wealth, access to anything. We don't have access to wealth, access to real estate. We're in the economic genocide, systematic racism by the dominant white majority. Everything has been set up for us to fail, and then we can allow these same people who has been attacking us, has been raping our ancestors, raping the women, children, kidnapping and raping our children from our homeland, take our history, take us the knowledge of ourselves until we start to embody and start to mimic the behaviors of our oppressor. After all of these years, we still are looking to bring these people in as if these people want to be with us, or if these people look at us and saying, why are we looking at them like that is my question. All of them are dogs. All of them have a responsibility to protect white supremacy and white privilege, because I can ask, you can say what you want. Oh, A Ward ain't this and A Verb about the battle, A Ward and he ain't whatever. A Ward wouldn't trade in that white privilege to be in the position you, and he would not be So we can never be equal, because we are never equal outside of battle rap. We ain't equal on any playing field across the whole world. They always look at us as second-class citizens. All the time. Every single time. Black people always want to be integrated with them. Why? Integration in itself crippled the black economy and the black community. Crippled it. People want to be with white people. People want to be beside the oppressor. And the black community keeps on wanting to invite the people in. It has the black community, the dollar and economy system in the black community single-handedly was broken with integration, because let's take the Negro Leagues. We had 2 leagues, 8 teams apiece. Hundreds of black players. Not only that, hundreds of black people and thousands of black people employed, from the lady at the ticket booth to the people who sweep and clean up the bleachers, the concession person, the umpires, the scoreboard person, the announcer, the people who did the grounds, everything. They let Jackie Robinson in. They let one black person in, and everybody let the Negro League, everybody let their businesses, all their black businesses that they built, they let it go. And just like the white people do, they consumed the residual leftovers of that, of what we left behind. Meaning that they got, not only did the players integrate, our fans integrated with them and brought all of that wealth that could have been redistributed in the black community to the white people. And the redistribution of wealth to the black community is not in the plan of white supremacy and white domination. It's not ever been. It will never be. People want to be beside the people who raped, pillaged, and killed your ancestors, put you into slavery, made you go through Jim Crow, segregation, and Reconstruction. Continue. Slavery is still in effect. Why? It may not be slavery of the hands or the shackle. The shackle is not on the hand or the wrist. The shackle is on the mind, and that's the most harmful part. That's the most harmful part. We continue to let them in. We continue to say, hey, brothers, y'all, they my brothers, they this, but they don't look at us like that. Why? You say A-Ward ain't this and A-Ward ain't that. He's going to protect that white privilege, because he'll never, ever give that white privilege up. So you go through what you go through. Why? Who would? But we continue, Puerto Ricans, y'all, like, because they live in our community, they don't stand up for black issues. Puerto Rican people don't like black people. Get with that Puerto Rican girl and see what her dad said about you. Get with that Mexican girl and see what her dad did. Mexicans, as far as Spanish people go, didn't they use the Mexicans on the Texas border crisis when the Haitians was trying to get in? They used the Mexicans against the black people. They just use Asians as a weapon in the Supreme Court against the black people against affirmative action. There's a difference between being minority and being black. And us black people need to see it. They're continuously showing you. They use one group to subjugate another, and y'all still say that we all the same. But if one person keeps getting subjugated for the benefit of another, then how are we the same? How is it equal? How does it balance out? Because we seem like we on the short end of the stick, pause, every single time. We get the bad deal every time. But we continue to allow them in. We continue to say that they're Puerto Ricans are black. Puerto Ricans are black. They don't think they're black. They don't like us. And then you see the black people in the comments forgiving. He's asking people for forgiveness. What are you asking for forgiveness for? What are you apologizing and want forgiveness for? For what? For attacking black women? You attacked she. You told She Happy that you would have bought him in 1850. You would have spent $50 on it. You didn't say buy him and free him. No, which means that, listen, which all of this adds up to you being a racist and the catalyst for the systematic white supremacy and white domination or whatever, or their agenda. You seek to further that. You seek to further the condemnment of the condemnment and the eradication of my African brothers and sisters and the black people of the United States and of the world. Forgiveness. How will we forgive you? We can't. How do I forgive you? When y'all people aren't worthy of, aren't extending the same or reciprocating the same forgiveness to my people. Well, look at Haiti. You still haven't forgiven Haiti. 219 years is a long time to hold a grudge. You understand? Haiti went to 1791. It was the Haitian Revolution. Haiti got its independence in 1804. Since then, Europeans have totally exiled Haiti. No, Haiti has received no aid, no foreign aid. As a matter of fact, they told Haiti they had to pay reparations for wanting to be free. You got to pay us for not wanting to be oppressed, as if they have the right to oppress us. Forgiveness, y'all haven't forgiven Haiti. And y'all for 65 years, y'all didn't even acknowledge Haiti as its own independent country. You haven't forgiven them for wanting their freedom, for wanting to live, to get a means of a happy life. But you, black people, who want to forgive white people for stuff that they did yesterday. 246 years of involuntary servitude, as they say, even though we know it's more in this country alone, in the United States alone. Brothers and sisters, I'm going to tell you, if I've learned anything from the Jews, the Jewish people, their slogan, never again, need to be imposed on us, because for us, it seems like our slogan is over and over again. We need to learn our lesson. We need to stop placating and catering to other people in the culture. In the battle rap community, y'all say struggle and real talk, y'all. But then when we start to talk about slavery and racism, what's a bigger struggle than slavery? Name a bigger struggle. What's the bigger struggle than Jim Crow? Reconstruction. But said selling the drugs in which they placed in our community to destroy it, and you aid into the destruction of that, talking about that is what y'all would rather hear. Talking about the killing of each other is what y'all rather. And yes, I enjoy, the figurative and fictitious part of those things as well, because I'm from the streets. But I also understand the importance of our history and what they try to take out the history books, and not for accountability, but because they don't want the white people getting sympathy for us. That's the reason that slavery's out the history books. Everything was cool until the white people started showing up at the Black Lives Matter movements, rallies, and they said, "Oh no, these white people got sympathy." We can't have that. Take slavery out the history books. Tell them that they benefited from it, even though you created unions for us not to get jobs after slavery. But so we have to, as a whole culture and whole race. I didn't say not to, allow them in, but I do feel like we shouldn't allow them in, honestly. Because the battlefield, Brother Khalid Muhammad said the battlefield is everywhere, especially for the black man on American soil. It's everywhere. We need to start acting like it. We need to stop trying to make everybody feel included, because we only got the illusion of inclusion. Because if one of y'all driving down the street with A-Ward and y'all get pulled over, y'all ain't gonna get the same treatment. Brothers, y'all need to understand, brothers and sisters, this is not, they have waged a war against melanated people. And the oppressor will never aid you in ending your oppression. I'm sorry, because it benefits them for you to stay oppressed. It's a black culture. If we do have white people in this, don't take them to heart, or don't put them in a position for you to care whether they left this culture or not. Don't put them in a position where you will forsake the history of slavery and your people and what they went through as a means of making them feel comfortable. Because it ain't enough comfortability in the world to overlook 500 years of involuntary servitude, subjugation, and disenfranchisement. Proper context media.